Hello and welcome to episode 105, I think. I forgot to check. I'm pretty sure 105 is correct. The Graceful Tangle podcast. I'm Amy Kate. Thank you so very much for joining me this week. As always, I'm super happy to be back with you guys to share all of my knitting and crocheting projects and plans for this past week and what I hope to complete next week. I am officially on summer break for all of 2 more weeks, I think, from school. So I have a little bit more making time than usual, which is just absolutely amazing. And then I'll have more after summer semester, which I'm going to talk about later in the episode. But yeah, big things are in the works. So anyway, welcome to episode 105. Please be sure to subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. I would love to have you join this community. I have so many fun things planned over the next few weeks, and I would love to have you be a part of them. Also, be sure to check out all of the links in the description box below. I have links to show notes for this episode, and then also my other social media platforms, pattern shops, Dishcloth Make-A-Long information, which I'll be talking more about later as well. Pattern shops, if I didn't already say that. But yeah, lots of good things down there. Also a newsletter sign up. So I think I mentioned last week, but to mention it kind of more up front this week, I am starting a new exciting thing with my newsletter subscribers. So every single Tuesday I will be sending out an email promoting one pattern for free for the entire week. So I'm really excited about this. I wanted to use it as a way to just kind of give some extra encouragement or motivation to create something with your hands every week and kind of bring to light a past pattern of mine. So I'm excited about it. Definitely subscribe to the newsletter if you haven't. Of course, that's not the only thing that I use the newsletter for, but it's a very exciting thing that, again, I've just started. So sign up for that is down below. You'll get a little pop-up on your screen to sign up, and then you'll also be able to choose if you want to sign up for tester calls as well to be a knit or crochet pattern tester of mine, and I would love to have you in that community as well. So anyway, today is Saturday, May 14th. I cannot believe this month is halfway over. That is mind-boggling to me. But yeah, it's Saturday. It is a beautiful day. It is actually really early in the morning. It is just after 7, I think. I don't know the exact time, and I don't have a clock or anything, but it's just after 7. We have a busy day ahead, and I wanted to go ahead and get this filmed so that I didn't have to worry about it later. And it's summer and daylight saving, so it is bright and sunny early and late nowadays. The days are long, but they're also good, and I'm really grateful for this season of life. Okay, so I think that's it for the introduction for this episode. Let's go ahead and hop into it today because I finally have a finished object to share with you guys. So I don't think I've had any FOs over the past couple of weeks. I could be mistaken for last week, but I really don't think I did. This week I have one FO that was a past work in progress, and then I actually have multiple design finished objects, one of which that I'm currently wearing, and I will talk to you about those later on in the design segment. So first up, one finished object that I have today is this pair of socks. So I've been making these over the past few weeks, and they are now complete, and I am very happy about that. I am itching to cast on a new pair of socks already, so that's going to be happening soon, or a new pair of vanilla socks, I guess I should say. I actually have 2 other pairs of socks on the needles right now, which is kind of unlike me. Anyway, so this pair is complete. I used Hobie Silly Socks for this pair, and they turned out so fun. They're self-striping, which of course I love. I really like the like pink and brown speckly part. Kind of looks like Fair a little bit, but it's all yarn, which or all the same olive yarn, which I think is really fun. So anyways, these turned out so good. I used my own pattern, the Success Socks, which is my standard vanilla sock recipe. It's free in my shops. And I just shortened the leg a little bit to make them more like shorty socks. So I did a 20 round cuff, about a 10 round leg, and then I did the foot, the toe, and then I came back and did an afterthought heel. So really easy, very mindless, just some awesome sock knitting, basically. And yeah, so I'm happy to have these off the needles. I am actually hoping to cast on a pair of straight vanilla socks soon and update my Success Socks pattern. So I designed that pattern, when was it? A long time ago now. And I've since like changed the layout of my most recent sock patterns a little bit just to make it, I don't know, a little bit more easier to read maybe. And so I would like to update that pattern and kind of edit the layout a little bit, add in a couple of updates, things like that. So I hope to do that later this summer. Stay tuned. I'll be making like a separate pair of vanilla socks for photo purposes and things like that. But yeah, so stay tuned for that. I think that is all the FOs that I have, just that one. But like I said, I do have some design FOs that we'll talk about in a little bit. First, I have one, I think, work in progress to mention. This is an FO that I'll be sharing later. But yeah, I have one work in progress to talk about. So let's go ahead and hop into that. Okay, so I'm only going to share one work in progress today, but I'm actually working on two. So last week I shared a Tunisian bag that I'm currently working on. It's going great. I just have not had time to really put much work into that project at all over the past few weeks. So, past last week. I can't talk. Anyway, I've done it like maybe a few rows, but not much to share, and I would like to have more progress to share next week. So I'm going to hold off on sharing that project. But I did start something new. So this is actually I have yarn tangled on this project bag. That's fun. This is actually my knit crate project for the month. So I mentioned at the beginning of the year, if you've seen the knit crate videos on my channel, I am a Collybub. I cannot say the word. I am a knit crate affiliate, which means that they send me a box every month to share with you guys. Unbox it, create a YouTube video, create a project with the yarn that's included. It has already been so much fun this year, and I'm so grateful for the opportunity. So that said, April was kind of an off month for that. They, like the knit crate team, had an issue with shipment, so shipping was way delayed. I did not receive April's knit crate until like the beginning of May. So because of that, obviously I did not have a knit crate video go out in the month of April. And I was planning on still unboxing it and creating a video about the unboxing, even though it was late. But then the way that they shipped it this month was like not in the standard box, and it was just really awkward. So I decided to just hold off on that. So I thought I would go ahead and just share what I'm working on with the yarn that I received in the podcast, and then obviously I will share the project again when I unbox May's knit crate. So all of that to say, it's a very long-winded version of saying I'm going to go ahead and share knit crate's project for the month, because I'm really enjoying it, and it has been so much fun to work on. So the yarn that I received is, let's see if I can read this because I tore the label. Where's the other half of that word? It must have come off. I think it's knitology maybe. I'm not sure what that word is, but Wisp is the yarn line this month. This is, I believe the color is called Clay Pot. It's a 100% merino wool DK weight yarn, 236 yards per 100 grams. So it's kind of a heavy DK weight in my opinion. It's also not the softest merino wool. Like, it definitely feels woolly to me, but it's not uncomfortable. Like, I wouldn't want a sweater in it necessarily, but I am using it for a pair of socks, and it's going to be absolutely fantastic for that purpose. So I received 2 100 gram skeins of this yarn. I'm going to be using this one to create this pair of socks, and then I'll do something else with the second later down the road. But here is what the yarn looks like all wound up. It's a really pretty like orange color. It's kind of lighter to me than a clay pot would be, but I don't know, it reminds me of like Sunburst, like that kind of color, that kind of palette. But anyway, it's a really pretty color for summer, and I am making a pair of socks. So this is one of my own patterns, the Birch socks. I designed these earlier this year, and I really love the pattern, so I'm making a second pair using this yarn, and they are going so great so far. So here's what the sock currently looks like. It has a really pretty knit pearl texture, and then the back side is all, all stockinette, which I really, really like, including that for socks. I like being able to feature the yarn both in a pattern front and then a stockinette back. It also just kind of gives you a break from the pattern, which I really enjoy. So, anyways, these are going great. I'm actually ready for the toe, and then I'll be adding in the afterthought heel later on. These are just shorty socks, so they go by really quickly, and I'm absolutely loving them. The needles that I'm using are my Knitter's Pride. What is the line of these called? I completely forgot. Anyway, there's some needles by Knitter's Pride. Mindfulness. That's what it is. Or maybe just Mindful. I think it's called Mindful Collection. Goodness, I cannot think straight this morning, apparently. Anyway, so I'm using these needles, doing the magic loop method. I am fully enjoying them. And yeah, it's been really great to work on this project. It's just really mindless. I worked on it last night when we watched a show. If you're curious, we are currently watching, my siblings and I are watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. on Disney Plus, and we are fully enjoying it. We all really, really enjoy the Marvel movies, and just the entire collection. I enjoy watching them, most of them, and this show is basically like a Marvel movie, but lots and lots of them. Like, they were like 45-minute episodes, and there's a whole bunch of seasons. It has been so much fun to watch. It's not a new show. Like, I've heard about it. I heard about it a long time ago. I've wanted to watch it for quite a while. And I just noticed like a few weeks ago that it was on Disney Plus. So we have been fully enjoying that. And we watched an episode last night, and I worked on a couple of projects, but this was one of them. I actually finished the vanilla socks as well during that episode. So anyway, really great mindless project, and I am itching to keep working on them. I'm hoping to have at least one full sock done by next week, but I might even have the pair done. We will have to wait and see. But yeah, it's going great. I will link that pattern down below if you'd like to check it out. You can find it in my shops, Ravelry and Etsy, but then you can also find it for free on the blog. So it's really fun, shorty pair of socks. One thing I forgot to mention, because this yarn is a DK weight, I edited the stitch counts just a little bit for my size. So I added a few stitches just to kind of accommodate for the lighter weight of yarn. But yeah, that's the only modification that I made to the pattern. It is written for a worsted weight yarn, so that's why I didn't want them to be too small, but I feel like I thought that if I went up a full size, they would be too big. So I'm kind of doing 1.5 sizes, basically. Okay, so that is the only work in progress that I'm working on currently that isn't a design, but I have so many designs to share with you guys and talk to you about, and also some big design news in general. So let's go ahead and chat about that. So let's just go ahead and address the elephant in the room first. This is the first design that I have completed. Important to note, I have completed the sample. I have not completed actually writing the pattern or anything along those lines. So a lot of work has to be done until this will actually be out in the world. But I love this tee so much. It turned out so good. And I'm just so excited about this pattern. So I've shared this project for the past few weeks. I've been working on it quite consistently. It's constructed by making 2 panels and then you seam them together at the shoulders, the sides, add a collar, and then little cap sleeves. I just love this pattern so much. I love the stitch pattern. I modified one of my absolute favorite stitch patterns to create something that was a little bit less like open, kind of more like just a little bit tighter of a gauge while still being appropriate for, you know, the spring and summer season that we're currently in on my side of the world. And I just love it. I love it so much. I'm going to stand up and show you a little bit more. So it's kind of cropped. I'm wearing some semi-silly shorts right now, but it actually works really well with the shirt because of the way that the waistline is. But anyways, I love it. I love it. It would be so cute with high-waisted jeans or high-waisted shorts, like denim shorts, which is what I intend to wear with it overall, but it's Saturday morning and I'm not going to put on denim shorts right now. Anyways, I love it so much. So testing is going to start really, really soon. That's obviously the next big step. So, yeah, I'm really, really excited about that. And with so much fun to work on it, and I'm already itching to create more designs like it. I just love it so much. I love the fit of it. Yeah, I also love the neckline. It took like 3 tries to get it right, but I finally did it, and I really, really love the way that it looks. I didn't want it to be too open, but I didn't want it to be like hard to get on because it was too tight either. And I think this is a really good, just kind of all in all, great neckline. And yeah, I'm really, really excited about it. It's going great. It's going to be amazing. I'm excited to release this pattern to you guys. So testing is going to start soon, hopefully this week. And then I'm hoping for, okay, let's see, we're currently mid-May. So maybe July release at some point. That would definitely be the goal, I think. Maybe about mid-July. But yeah, it's going to be amazing. Really quickly, the yarn that I used, I actually have a skein that I didn't use, so I can go ahead and show that. This is Cotton DK in the colorway Whisker. 123 yards per 50 grams, and then you get, or the blend, I was going to say the yardage again. The blend is 70% cotton and 30% linen. So I just love this yarn. I love the blend. It's amazing. One of my favorites that We Crochet offers for sure, especially for this time of year. And it turned out so, so well for this top. Like, it's lightweight, but you still feel, you know, kind of covered and sturdy. And I really like that about it. Okay, the next finished object that I have design-wise is the Efficient Wrap. So once again, I have shared this the past couple of weeks as I've been working on it. But the first sample is now mostly complete. There's one thing that I might add, and I'll mention that in a minute. But overall, the first sample is done. I love, love, love how this turned out. I'll actually put it on over this top, just to kind of give you an idea of what it looks like. I obviously would not wear these two things together, and this, in my opinion, looks better over, like, you know, a knit shirt or a tank top or something instead of another crochet garment. But as you can see, it is long and cozy, super duper oversized. Like, the sides hang way down on my arms, which it is even. It's just hard to put it on sitting down. But yeah, I'm obsessed with how this turned out. It is so, so cozy. I used We Crochet Billow, so it's a 100% cotton, perfect like a summer swimsuit cover up, or just something to throw over, again, like a tank top or t-shirt and shorts with like a really great summer evening outfit. I really, really love it. So this pattern is going to be launching super soon. I was kind of hoping for a May release, but we are actually going on a trip in the last week of May. And so I definitely will not be able to release the pattern over that week when we're out of town. So it'll be pushed to the first week in June, most likely. But yeah, it's going to be amazing. I love that so much, and I'm excited to share the pattern with you guys. And it'll be a new addition to the Efficient collection, and I am super happy about it. I think I've been going back and forth on what I wanted to design next in that collection. And I'm still not entirely sure, but I'm leaning towards a blanket. So stay tuned for that. Just a simple double crochet collection, and I am having so much fun with it. Okay, next design. Like I said, I am working on so many. Okay, so let's show, this is a pair of socks. So I am collaborating with Southern Twisted Yarns, which is a yarn shop that is semi-local to me. It's located in Fairhope, Alabama, and I live in Northeast Alabama. So it's a good, like, 5 hours, maybe 5 or 6 hours for me, but I still have to visit at some point, hopefully. But I am collaborating with them to design a sock pattern using some yarn that they offer in their shop, and I'm having so much fun with it. I'm so grateful for the opportunity, and it's been so much fun already. And I am using, I actually have the label right here. I don't want to misquote it. I'm using Life in the Long Grass Moon Sock. This is a 20% silk, 80% superwash Merino blend, and this is the colorway Tree Bark. So here's what it looks like. It is just such a gorgeous color. I love it so very much. It's so pretty. Like, there's so many speckles on a grayish brown base. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. So I am designing this new sock pattern, and it is going so well. I came up with a fun new stitch pattern that I am loving. And yeah, it's just been so much fun to work on. So here's a close-up of what the stitch pattern looks like. And that's about it. I haven't done a ton of these, a ton of work on these. Obviously, I kind of got the pattern all figured out and the stitch pattern, and then I got to work. So obviously I still have a long way to go until these are released, but I love them. I love them so much. They're so squishy and cozy. It's going to be a really great pair of socks, and I am so excited to wear them. Probably not until fall at this point, but that's okay. I'm still very excited to do so. But yeah, so stay tuned for updates along with this pair of socks. Once again, it will most likely be a June release, because this month has just absolutely flown by. But anyways, I'm excited for that pattern and that collaboration. And obviously it's so much fun to use this yarn as well. I've never used Life in the Long Grass yarn before, but I have heard about it and itched to use it. So it's exciting to finally be able to do so. Okay, next design. Let's go ahead and share this blanket. So I have not made a ton of progress on this blanket this week, but I've made a little bit, so I thought I would go ahead and share. It is steadily growing. So this is the blanket that I am currently designing and working on. I am obsessed with it. I love it so much. It's so bright and colorful and cheerful and just a mindless joy to work on, which I really, really love. I'm using Crochet Brava for this. I'm using one skein of Brava 500 in Dove Heather for all of the gray stripes, and then each color is obviously different, and I'm using the Rainbow Brava Mini Pack for it. So I've taken out a few of the colors. I'm not using like every single little skein. But obviously I'll have all of the notes for that in the pattern, and it is going so great. Like, it's really lightweight and cozy because of the open and airy gauge, but at the same time it is still going to be a really nice warm and cozy blanket to just wrap up in anytime throughout the year. And yeah, I'm excited about it. It's going really great. It's going great. So bright and colorful. It's so much fun to work on. Perfect time of year to do it as well. Just kind of in the summer months. Obviously it's a blanket, so I'll be working on it all the time. But just the colors remind me of spring and summer, and it has been a blast to work on something that bright and cheerful. Okay, the last design that I have to share is a brand new dishcloth pattern that is going to be launching this week. And I love it. So it actually uses the same stitch pattern as the tee that I'm currently wearing. It's not modified, it's just changed up a little bit because of the worsted weight yarn that I'm using. But I used Crochet Dishy to create this dishcloth. I'll be making a few more and creating a full video tutorial for this release. So I'm really, really excited about that. But here's an up close look at the dishcloth. It's so quick, so much fun to make. Like I said, I used Crochet Dishy, which I highly recommend. And this specific colorway, if you're curious, is called, let's see, Dewdrop. So it's a really pretty light misty blue. It is a really great color for a dishcloth, I think. It would match like any kitchen. And yeah, it's just a lot of fun to work on. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be coming out later this week. And then I will also have a full video tutorial available here on the YouTube channel, which I'm super excited about. I love filming tutorials, and it's been a little while since I released one, so I'm excited to create that for you guys, and then watch it later this week. It's going to be amazing. I'm excited about it. So, yes, that is that dishcloth, and that is it for design talk. Now, a couple of little things that I wanted to mention, kind of in the same sort of note as designing. So for one, I think I mentioned last week or maybe the week before that I was creating some submissions for Crochet. They had a pattern call recently, and I am so happy to report that one of my patterns got accepted. So I can't give too many details, but in short, that pattern will be coming out with Crochet later this year, and I am so excited about it and so grateful for the opportunity to design for them again. It's going to be such a cute, fun pattern, and I'm really excited to share it with you guys. So that's one really big update. And then the second is still something that I'm kind of like personally figuring out and just kind of coming to peace with, and it's kind of jumping into life update, I guess. But most of you know that I'm currently in college. I will graduate in August, so I have 2 more classes that I'm going to be taking over the summer. I go back on June 1st to begin those classes, and then I graduate mid-August. So not much longer to go, which is extremely exciting. Also nerve-wracking, I'm not going to lie. It's crazy to figure it all out. But I have made the decision that after graduation, I'm going to take a break of sorts, whether that's a break year, a break 6 months. It just all depends on really what God has in store. But I'm going to take that time to take the business as full-time as I can, and then continue my current nannying job, which I absolutely love and adore. So really, really big life change. It's been interesting to kind of come to like peace with it. Like, it's what I want to do, but it feels a little bit scary taking that big step. So yeah, I'm really excited to see how the business can grow during that season. I have just had to say no to certain opportunities in the past because of everything that I've been managing over the past couple of years. But school is about to be over, and I've made the decision to not continue, at least not for right now, not past my associate's degree right now. So I'm very excited to see what will happen over that next season. So like I said, that's kind of jumping into a little bit of a life update, but I do have a devotional planned, and then I guess a further life update maybe. So let's go ahead and chat about that for a little while. So for devotional this week, I wanted to talk about a passage in Psalms that just really stuck out to me this week when I read it, and just really brought some encouragement, and I hope that it will bring some encouragement to you as well. So Psalm 86 verses 11 through 13 says, "Teach me your way, Lord, that I may rely on your faithfulness. Give me an undivided heart, that I may fear your name. I will praise you, Lord my God, with all my heart. I will glorify your name forever. For great is your love toward me. You have delivered me from the depths, from the realm of the dead." That passage is just so encouraging personally. As with many verses and chapters and passages and books in the Bible, it just so clearly states how we are called, or what we're called to do as we follow him as his sons and daughters. And so I feel like if you break down this passage verse by verse, it really just says that so effectively in such a beautiful way. As his children, we're called to continually be seeking his guidance and his wisdom, and to always be learning. We will never ever be, a perfect Christian. We will always mess up. We will always make mistakes. We will continually face trials and disappointment and discouragement, but all along the way, it's so important to realize how much we are loved and how okay it is to accept and admit to that humility, and to always be learning and seeking him. We're called to rely on his faithfulness. We're called to give him our undivided heart so that we may fear his name. And I feel like that's really important as well. On earth we are in just given the opportunity to be in so many beautiful relationships, whether that is with a spouse or a significant other or your parents or siblings or friends, whatever the case may be. It at times can seem like your heart is divided. Like, I love this person so much, but I also love God so much. And really, when you think about it, it's such a beautiful relationship. We give God our undivided hearts. We give him all of our love. And because of that, we can give other people that same kind of love. And I think when you approach it from that aspect, it becomes even more beautiful and intentional and just important. You know, we're not called to do this life alone. We're called to have relationships here on earth, but they're supposed to be encouraging and uplifting and glorifying to Him as well, and first and foremost. And then to continue, I will praise you, Lord my God, with all my heart. We're called to praise Him forever and endlessly, and to always glorify Him and to seek to glorify Him. That is one of my personal goals, to always give the glory back to Him, whether that's in terms of success that I have the opportunity to achieve. I always want to give that glory to Him, or just anything that I go about in life. I want it to always be glorifying to Him. And obviously that will not always happen. I will and have made mistakes, but He's also a Redeemer, and He's gracious and compassionate, and because of that we can continually strive to give Him the glory. And then lastly, for great is your love toward me, you have delivered me from the depths. And I kind of picture that as Him redeeming us from our sins and from death. Death is defeated in His name. And I think that verse kind of says that in almost a hidden way, like it kind of hides it in that verse, but it's, I believe, what the verse means. Anyway, it was just such an encouraging passage when I read over it, and I pray that it was an encouragement for you to just kind of hear me read it out loud. I encourage you to study it on your own. That was one of the chapters. Psalm 86 was one of the chapters that I read this week in the 1-year Bible study that I'm currently doing. That is still going so well, by the way. It's still so beautiful to just spend those few minutes in the Word each morning, and just commit that time to Him. It has been so beautiful and makes my day go so much better, for sure. In terms of life update, it was a pretty crazy week work-wise, lots and lots of hours, but I love my job so much. I love those sweet girls, so I'm so grateful for it. And I'm on break for school, which has been absolutely amazing. I needed it so much, so I am so grateful for it. I have this week and next week off, and then I'll be back to school on June 1st, so it'll end, but yeah, I have 2 more classes. I'm going to finish strong. So this week we'll be at home. I'll still be working, of course, but then next week we'll be taking a trip to visit the Ark Encounter in Kentucky, I believe it is. And I am so excited for that trip. It's going to be absolutely amazing. I cannot wait. I'll be sharing some pictures as and when I can over on Instagram, so be sure to follow me over on there. I'm really excited to just kind of document that trip that way. That's going to be really fun. It's a while. We don't usually it's going to be a Monday through Friday trip, I think, and we don't usually take trips that long, so it's going to be really fun, really awesome. I'm very, very excited about it. So that's the biggest thing we have coming up, and my brother is graduating high school next week, which is just mind-boggling, absolutely mind-boggling. We are all growing up, and it is exciting and so strange all at the same time. For sure. Anyway, I hope that you are having an absolutely amazing week and start to your summer. Hopefully, I hope that it is a really wonderful break or just good summer season, whatever season of life that you are in. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I will see you all again next time. Until then, happy making. Bye.